Hey, I want to welcome everybody to a very special episode of the Beard Owl Podcast. I'm Lauren, and I'm always here. My brother is, like I usually say, probably taking care of his small child, who you get to hear on some of our episodes now because she can talk. But on these very special episodes, I get to have very special people on, and today I am joined by Russ from the Infectious Groove Podcast. Hey, Russ, how are you?
Hey, I am doing wonderful. I'm excited to be here, and B, I'm super excited to discuss this particular album.
Oh, yeah. I'm just going to say it right off the bat. We are talking Poodle Hat today. That's right, Poodle Hat from 2003. So get ready for some early aughts magic, because that's what we're hitting up today. So before we get into Poodle Hat, I want to give you an opportunity right at the beginning to plug all of your stuff. Who are you? Where are you from? What do you do?
I am Russ, as you mentioned, from the Infectious Groove Podcast, and I've kind of done enough podcast guest spots now to where I can get this down to a science instead of the 20 minutes it was originally. So the two easiest ways for people to check us out is either to go to infectiousgroovepodcast.com or go to youtube.com/infectiousgroovepodcast. Both are a little different content. The podcast itself, myself, my best friend Michelle, and her boyfriend Kyle do roundtable discussions on everything to do with music every week. It's not one particular artist. We always share what we're listening to. We always talk about current issues and classic topics and things like that. That's what's on the audio podcast. The YouTube channel is more focused on my vinyl collection that I've had for I don't know, over a decade, and I have amassed quite a few rare pressings, and not just rare pressings, but special pressings too. So every Thursday I put out a new video of here's a rare pressing that many people maybe haven't seen, or like the one I have coming out tomorrow is about a Pink Floyd original pressing versus like the super deluxe, whether you should buy one or the other.
Wow.
Yeah, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And then I do own the 15 LP Weird Al squeeze box. I haven't shot a video on that yet because I'm kind of afraid that it's going to be like a 45-minute video of, of me just gushing about every single Weird Al album. But I will find a way to work it in eventually. So infectiousgroovepodcast.com, youtube.com/infectiousgroove. That's us.
Yes, excellent. Very good. Yeah, you did get that down into a nice, tidy little nugget there. I appreciate that. Before we jump in completely to Poodle Hat, since this is the Beard Owl Podcast, I just want you all to know that you'll figure out why this beer is appropriate for me to have right now talking about this album. I'm drinking a sour Gosa style beer called Trash Can Punch from 903 Brewers, and they are in Sherman, Texas. So once again, it's Trash Can Punch. And as we get into Poodle Hat, I think you'll understand why Trash Can is appropriate. It's a good beer. I've had it. It's nice. It's sour. If you don't like sours, you won't like it. If you do like sours, you'll say, hey, this is a sour, but if like a sour had a baby with a Hawaiian punch.
What's the ABV on it?
6.2. It's good. It's not like there was one time I had a guest on the show talking about an album just like you are now. It was Mike from the Boozy Bracketology podcast, and he was on talking about Off the Deep End with me. And I had a sour, and it was called Hawaiian Shirt Party, and it was like a tropical, coconutty sort of sour kind of deal. And I was enjoying it. I was having a really good time. But nowhere on the can did it say what the ABV was. And then we're getting through the conversation, and I'm like, ah! I looked it up. The beer was like well over 9%. And I said, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense for me now. So anyway, let's jump in to Poodle Hat. Poodle Hat, of course, like I said at the beginning, it is Weird Al's. It's his 11th studio album, and it came out in the year of our Lord, 2003. And for those of you keeping score at home, I have been wearing a Weird Al shirt every day so far in 2021. So today I am actually wearing the shirt that I got on the tour in support of Poodle Hat back in 2003. So it's a good shirt. It's very orange, not my usual color, but I'm wearing it today to talk about Poodle Hat. So we're going to go through this song by song as best we can and sort of see what happens. Now, Poodle Hat opens up with Couch Potato, which of course is a parody of Lose Yourself by Eminem. So since you are my guest, I'm going to let you share your initial thoughts about the old Couch Potato.
So it's funny. This is one of my favorite Weird Al albums, and I think one of the most insanely underrated records he's done. But for the first couple of tracks here, it's going to sure sound like it's not one of my favorites. There's a lot I don't like about Couch Potato, to be honest. I do not think it should have been the first single off the record at all. As we all know, once Weird Al has a single come out and it either makes a big splash or it doesn't, the record label has no idea what to do with him after that. So none of the rest of the brilliance of this record even had a chance, because the single came out and it didn't really make the big splash that Weird Al's. No, it wasn't a White and Nerdy. It wasn't a Smells Like Nirvana. My personal problems with it is, number one, I think it's one of the worst titled Weird Al songs that there's ever been. Now, he couldn't just call it Lose Yourself again, which is what he says, and usually he'll do it after his whatever he changes the lyric to in the chorus. And so I get that. And then also, surprising for Weird Al, the rhyme schemes really aren't that good. They don't match up to Eminem's all that much until the third verse. The third verse is fire. Like, the third verse is exactly like Eminem's.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's such a bummer that this record starts with this song for me, because it's just not a highlight.
Yeah, and I think in a world where Eminem had let Weird Al do the video that Weird Al wanted to do for Couch Potato, we may be talking about it differently, because then we'd have that image in our minds. Because you're right, absolutely. Like, sonically, this song doesn't do it for you, but a lot of Weird Al's biggest hits have kind of been that perfect storm between what you hear and what you've seen in the video. And so I think this was part of it. And I mean, Eminem not quote unquote allowing Weird Al to do the video. Like, Weird Al could have made the video. Like, he could have. He was just too nice to do it when Eminem said, yo, I really don't want you to do it.
Yeah, I am constantly explaining that to people all the time, that Weird Al can do whatever he wants legally. But he's such a nice guy that he doesn't. And I totally agree. This is one of those things that, well, like, not to get too far off track, but think of how much success he could have had with as many different Beatles things as he wanted to do, or as many different Prince things as he wanted to do. But he carved his own path and does it the right way, or the nice way, if not the right way. And then there's people like us out there who do appreciate the whole record regardless. So it's still a win for him.
Absolutely. It's still a win. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I saw this tour, and obviously, as the lead single from the album, I think this might have been the one tour that Weird Al actually performed this song on. And, he came out with the beanie and the hoodie, and he kind of sulked around the stage doing the song. And I could even tell. I was like, he's not happy about this at all.
Yeah.
So, given that, we don't have to spend that much more time on Couch Potato.
I was going to say, it's almost all uphill from here for me. There's very little I don't like from here out.
Yeah, because right after Couch Potato comes arguably one of the most brilliant Weird Al songs ever, right? That would Hardware Store.
Yeah, Hardware Store is one of those ones that I think is, not that he's out for this, but I think like that would be my only negative on this track, is that I think it would be such a knee jerk for someone who may have heard of him because of Couch Potato, and then they come out of that track into this and they're like, holy cow. However, it's also a crash course in Al.
He does that all the time. I think I've said, actually we talked about Pancreas, and one of the things I note is on the album Straight Outta Linwood, Pancreas comes right after White and Nerdy, which is that same jarring, like, you get this one thing right into something completely different.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know at least two of my friends who became like stone cold Weird Al fans because of the jarring difference between Fat and Stuck in a Closet with Vanna White. Like, they literally were like, what is this? And that was the only reason they stuck with the record, was that it was so different. I know of two different people like that. So this is another example of that.
Yeah, that's his thing. But man, this song is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's one that he has never, I don't believe he's ever done it live, because I don't believe any human could actually do this song live.
Yeah. I mean, it would have to be like way slowed down or heavy use of tapes and whatnot. Yeah. It's
so fast. It reminds me, I have like this mental connection with this song, and like REM's "The End of the World as We Know It." The only line that I can like confidently sing along with is Leonard Bernstein.
I'm not kidding you. My wife and I just drove across the state Monday morning, and I had iHeart 80s on, and they played that. And of course, like, my wife and I, under our breath, that's the only, Leonard Bernstein, that's the only thing anybody does. Yep.
That's it. And much like that with Hardware Store, the only thing I can confidently do is Automatic Circumcisers. And I don't know. I mean, it's just because he hits it in such a way, or because Automatic Circumcisers is such a unusual image to get in your brain. I'm not sure, but if you haven't heard the song Hardware Store, that gives you an idea of how fast things go, because I'm pretty good at holding lyrics in my brain, but I can't hold a lot of this in my brain.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's one of those tracks too where you get a full appreciation of what a linguist Weird Al is. Like, I mean, he doesn't just spout nonsense. It's everything that he talks about makes sense in the context that he's talking about it. And he's had stuff, and this is one of them too, where I've had to like look up what he's talking about, and then it's even funnier after I learn whatever the phrase is or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, Hardware Store, definitely a big swing up for the album from the first song.
A big swing up, and it's interestingly one of the few Weird Al originals that's not a style parody or pastiche of another artist. This is just a straight up like original Weird Al song, which for better or worse, that gives you a glimpse into what's inside the man's head, because if he were to just put something out that was purely him, that's what it would be.
Right, yeah, for all the people going, why doesn't he do an album of originals? Well, do you like Hardware Store?
Yeah, do you like Hardware Store? Do you like UHF? Well, that's what it would be.
Yeah. You know what? When UHF came out, that was the one time in my life where I was like, man, I wish he'd do an album of originals, because I love that song so much, and it's got such a great hook and everything. Yeah. I thought for sure, like, I was like, man, I really wish he would, but then everything that came after UHF, I'm totally fine with too.
Yeah. He knows what he's doing. And so we can't really question the genius at work. So then we go from Hardware Store again into something completely different with the Trash Day, which is a parody of Hot in Her by Nelly.
And my only complaint with this song is, again with the title, I don't know why this isn't just called Rotten Here. Because because for me, to the casual, I know a lot of what I call very casual Al fans, and they will do the thing where they'll look at the back of the CD, and if they don't get the connection to something, they don't really get it. And there's a few others on here, like that we'll get to later, Ode to a Superhero. Like, you're not just going to call that Spider-Man instead of Piano Man, because people aren't going to make that connection either. Yeah. Complicated Song, stuff like that. But like, it puzzles me why this song is not just called Rotten Here.
Yeah, you're right. I have never thought about that, to be honest with you. And seriously, this is one of those Weird Al songs that I forget about a lot of the times until it pops up on one of my playlists, or I'm listening to Poodle Hat straight through, and then I was like, oh yeah, that song exists. I feel that song just a little bit, because it was just, that day before Trash Day, everyth's getting kind of nasty. You know what? I think I can let it go another week. And I'm that kind of person that's like, I am just too lazy to drag that can out to the curb. Right. So I think I can let it go.
This for me too is for anybody who heard my complaints about the rhyme schemes in Couch Potato. This is the opposite of that. Everything on this is so cleverly done. With everything on it hits the original things that the hooks on all of the ends of the lines that made Nelly's hit catchy, but it's all done perfectly, all about Trash Day.
Yeah, I guess, I guess thinking, looking back, of course, where our vision is 2020, if he had to pick between this and Couch Potato to be the lead single for the album, this probably would have made more sense.
I have another one that I think would have been I think the song, we'll get to it way later, but there's another song that I think would have been the perfect lead single.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And, so people, keep listening.
It is the one that we're both thinking of is criminal that it's not one of Weird Al's biggest hits.
Yeah. Apparently he had a reason for that, which we can get to in a little bit as well. Right. But for those of you who have been keeping score, this song is the reason why I am drinking Trash Can Punch. Because I guess we'll just keep trucking through this because Party at the Leper Colony.
Oh, really? I love
No, I love it too. But you know who doesn't love this song?
I just found out about that I was in a YouTube wormhole the other day, and I saw a live version of it from the I'll say it wrong, but the
self-indulgent,
completely ill-advised
self-indulgent vanity tour,
which I saw that tour too.
I saw that tour. I saw him do this song on that tour.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I heard him say what you're going to say. He said,
"Yeah, I'm not quoting verbatim, rather, but he just went on about how it really wasn't that good of a song, and this was proof that they're going to do any song if they're going to do this song." And I'll just tell you my notes. My first thing is, and I have periods after every one of these words, and they're all typed in caps. So many great puns. Like,
I know.
The puns in this song are, personally, I think this is one of the most underrated Weird Al originals that there is.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Who's that? Who's in the hot tub?
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. It looks like stew. I mean,
come on.
The one that kills me the whole song makes me giggle uncomfortably.
It's a knee slapper, the whole song.
The line where he says, girl, now don't go to pieces on me. Then she cried her eyes out, literally. I mean, and it's done to, I mean, it's a Weird Al original, but it is a style parody in that it's a generic hand jive that was popular in the early and mid 50s. And to me, again, it's like Trigger Happy, where you would never hear a hand jive about anything close to something bad happening to people. And to me, that when I listen to Weird Al songs, like that comes into play.
Yeah, something's going to happen to somebody somewhere.
Yeah, and with that comes into play that you take this thing that would always be such a positive, upbeat thing, and all the lyrics are just about awful things happening. Yeah,
but awful things are happening in a really funny way. And in this case, it's puns. And I mean, I'm not going to, but I could go off forever about puns, because puns are my favorite type of humor. I think I just love a good pun. Like, you throw a good pun at me, I'm like, all right, you are my kind of people. And this song, just like you said, they're all such good puns. Let's give them a hand.
I mean, band. Just right and you realize the level he's playing at right at the beginning when he says, when he mentions they're going to the party, and he says, it won't cost you an arm and a leg. Right at the top, it's just like the very first time I heard it, I was like, okay, we're going to play at this level the whole song. And then it keeps getting better. All the way, like you said, I totally forgot about that line. There's a guy in the hot tub, I don't know who, wait a minute, it looks like stew.
It's like stew. Come on.
I think a lot of people wouldn't even think deeply into that line, and then when you do, you're like, oh my Lord.
Yeah. It's great. And I hate that he's embarrassed by it or doesn't like it or what have you. And actually, interestingly, Nathan Rabin, who wrote the book The Weird Accordion to Al, he's been on our show, and we didn't talk about this song in particular, but his passage in that book about this song is basically like, this song would make more sense earlier in Al's career, like on In 3D or even Dare to Be Stupid, but at this point in the early 2000s, like, Al should be past this. But
no, I couldn't disagree more. And personally, I think we should start the hashtag Justice for Party at the Leper Colony, because
I might do that. I might do that.
This is just, I think it's brilliant. Let me put it this way. If I ever became independently wealthy and had the money to do like a private Weird Al concert with like me and 10 of my friends, this would absolutely be like, I would pay him an extra 10 grand if he didn't want to do this song.
Yeah, so it would cost you an arm and a leg.
Yeah, it actually would cost me an arm and a leg.
Yeah, this song is really good. And I mean, seriously, if you had like an outside pool party with Weird Al, you could have a hot tub with like those fake Halloween body parts kind of sitting in it. Like, oh, it's Stu.
Yep. And he might not appreciate it, but I'm sure he'd like the money though.
Right. I mean, take the money, man. Oh my God, we could talk forever about this song.
I was so upset when when I was first looking at you. You were. I thought, oh no, she doesn't like this song, and now I'm gonna. No, cause I like all these notes about how I love this song. So.
No, I do. Al doesn't, but this is one of those cases where Al is wrong.
I think it's the only known case in the history of the world where Al was wrong.
That's true. Yeah, you know what? You're probably right. I'm just kind of like thinking back.
That's probably
There's
true.
an exception to every rule, and I'm okay with Party at the Leper Colony being the exception.
Yes, 100%. As I'm just kind of looking at this track list as we're going through it. I mean, I know this track list, but it's one of those things to see it in front of you. And you're right. It does just keep getting better, because now we're getting into Angry White Boy Polka. This is a good polka.
Yeah, I agree. You know what's weird? This is obviously, I host a music podcast. I've been into music deeply my whole life. This is one of the only polkas that when it came out, I didn't know the greater majority of the material in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I knew System of a Down and maybe one other, but like I just was not into that genre of rock like at all. And there was a lot of songs that I was like, I don't know this one. I don't know this one. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still a great polka. And I've heard, like, it's so funny, the Weird Al effect. Like, if I'm out at a casino or, on vacation or something, and I hear one of those songs, I'll be like, oh, that's the one from Angry White Boy Polka. And I'm sure the band would be like, no, that's actually our hit, and I'd be like, no, this is an Angry White Boy Polka,
Yeah.
But yeah, this is one of the only times that's happened with one of his polkas. Like growing up, every time there was a polka, I would always be like, I would know the as soon as he switched over to the next song, I would know the original and laugh, with how it was done, the clanking noise or the whatever he threw into it. And this was one of the very first times that the greater majority of them, I was like, I don't know this.
Yeah, you see, all right. It depends on kind of where it hit you in life. Because this was this was like my senior year of high school. So,
yeah.
So this was, I had kind of two factions of friends. The friends that were still into like the poppy stuff, and the friends that were into the angry white boy stuff.
Right, yep.
And so, I mean, this was that era in music where bands kept coming out with the band names, because you have the Vines, the Hives, the White Stripes, the Strokes, and it was like a whole the thing that was happening again. So I know everything on this. Like the Strokes were my jam at the time.
Oh, so there's a friend of mine who brought over I think the first Strokes record to my Friday night music thing, and exactly that happened where we put it on and I was like, oh, this is from the Weird Al polka. And he was like, it might be from that, but it's also from the Strokes. And I was like, oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, oopsie daisy. Yeah, no, the Strokes are great. You're right. I don't really like most of the music in this polka, but I recognize most of the music in this polka. And I think most of the songs are better in this polka than they are outside the polka.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Like when I hear the originals, I'm always like, this was better in the polka. And I love this polka. Like he's got a couple of polkas that if I never heard him again, I wouldn't be like heartbroken. But this one, I will put this on, just to listen to it.
I feel like this particular little time frame, like, I'm going to say Bad Hair Day through Poodle Hat. So those 3 albums, Bad Hair Day, Running with Scissors, and Poodle Hat, 3 of the best polkas in my mind. Three of the most, like, go back to, listen to it polkas.
Let me tell you how much of an impact. I can't think of the name of the polka that's on. Is it the alternative polka is on Bad Hair Day? Okay. So whenever, because I listen to a whole lot of Casey Kasem in the iHeart radios, or iHeart 80s stations on just the iHeart radio app. Every single time Rock the Cradle starts, I get mad that it's the actual song and not the alternative polka. Like,
oh no, Rock the Cradle is from the polka that's on Off the Deep End.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of then. Yeah.
Yeah, Rock the Cradle. That's oh shit.
But when it doesn't, when it gets through the riff twice and it doesn't go, boom, dun, 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 dun. I get mad.
Alone.
Yeah, I get real mad that it doesn't switch over to that.
Oh yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But yeah, I totally agree. That run of polkas is just perfect. I mean, it's like, again, it's one of those things where if I was trying to convince someone that there's more to Al than the lead single that they always hear, that I would play one of those easily.
Oh heck yeah. That, I mean, it's a solid polka. The polka off of Off the Deep End is Polka Your Eyes Out.
That's right. Yep.
That's the problem with the polkas too, is I can know what album it's off of, but sometimes the names of the polkas are not as, like, they're not as easy to pull unless it's like a polka defining name.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
Like this, or the alternative polka, or what have you. Like, now that's what I call polka. We don't have to go through all of this on the polka. Because I just do need to say that the Ba Wida Ba, the Kid Rock bit on this polka, always makes me laugh.
Yeah, and that's one of the ones that I knew. I mean, it's a Detroit thing. It's like you couldn't breathe air in Detroit around that time without people being like, have you heard about Kid Rock? Yes, I've heard about Kid Rock. Yes, I've heard. And I'm not a fan. What? You're from Detroit. Yeah, I know. But that is the only instance in which I want to hear the song. Is in this polka.
Agreed. Yeah. Oh my god. So we can move on from this polka to Wanna Be Your Lover.
So this is my least favorite song on the record.
For real?
Yeah. And I don't hate it. I just don't. Yeah. There's very few Weird Al songs, polkas, original style parodies, that I will skip. And there's nothing that keeps me listening to this song when it comes on. It's the only song, including Couch Potato, this is the only song on the record where I'm like, I could just skip this probably.
I have a song that I skip on this album, but it's not this song.
Oh no, which one?
We haven't gotten to it yet. I know, and I have my reasons, but this particular song, I enjoy because I think, in spite of the way it is on the album, but because of how he did it live, and I've seen him do it live many times. Because before this album came out, and at some points after, he kind of flip-flops now, but he always has one song where he goes out into the audience and he picks an IL, and it's like a sexy Weird Al song, if there is a sexy Weird Al song. But it's a sexy Weird Al song where he kind of flirts with the ladies.
Right.
And this was that song for this album. So this is the one where he'd basically be in a pimp outfit. And he would go and Weird Al grinded very close to women's faces. whilst performing this song live. Like, I want to be your beef burrito. And it was like,
I don't know if you're making this better for me or not.
I'm just saying, like,
in the context of the entire concert, it was hilarious. Like, the way he did it was funny because you could tell he wasn't, like, serious.
Right. Yeah, of course.
And it was funny to be there and see, you know. But before that go out into the concert song was One More Minute, which I love.
Yeah,
I
me
love
too.
the song One More Minute.
And I was a little mad because the first 2 times I saw Weird Al, his go out in the crowd song was One More Minute. And then it switched to Wanna Be Your Lover, and so he didn't do One More Minute. And I was like, no! Where's my song? I love that song. Why? But, you know, and then he started kind of doing both, or one or the other, and it is what it is. But this is another one of those songs that's full of, I just did it to myself. It's one of those thongs. But it's one of those songs that is full of wordplay. But this is the only time that Weird Al's wordplay is dirty.
Yeah. And listening to the album again the other day for the first time in a long time, like I had that thought of like I could just skip the song, and then I was like, well, no, you're doing the show, you got to listen to the song. And there were a few things that made me clutch my pearls at the thing in the car. I was like, that's different for Al. Like, yeah.
You know, so you could is this the album where Weird Al became a man? Like
Very, very, very possible. Yeah.
Like he just kind of realized, you know what, like, I am in my 40s now. I can do what I want.
Yeah.
And just do it. Because I believe he performed this song on Conan back in the day, and kind of did the whole thing with the song in the audience on the Conan O'Brien show.
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
I'm certain it's on YouTube. I'll have to go take a look.
It's definitely on YouTube, and it is something. It is something to watch.
And it might be one of those things where I don't think I've ever seen him do it because I would remember that. And it might be one of those things where if he does it in the future, the presentation at the concert might make it better for me.
Yeah, I don't know if he would do it because, I mean, again, I think because of the reception of this album, he doesn't do a whole lot off of it.
Yeah. If I ever become independently wealthy, I guess I'll just have him do the whole record front to back then.
Yeah, you know, that would be something. That would be something. Like, you know how he hasn't put anything out lately, but it would be kind of fun for Al to do just like individual albums live.
Oh yeah, I would be. Every other artist out there does it, and we just briefly mentioned this on our show the other day. But there are a lot of artists who shouldn't be doing their full albums front to back, like, and you know, there are a lot of artists who very rightfully should be as well. But I would go to that tour all day long if Weird Al just started doing individual albums front to back. Yeah,
I wouldn't even care which one I went to. I would be like, okay, put me in the lottery. I don't care which album it is.
You want to put me in the Polka Party tour?
Yeah, I think Polka Party would be like my least favorite, but I'd still get to hear Living with a Hernia, and that would and
here's Johnny.
Yeah.
And Dog Eat Dog.
Yeah, and the other day, again, because of the whole Casey Kasem thing that's on iHeartRadio, out of nowhere, we happened to hear Who's Johnny, which you never hear, ever.
Yeah.
And, of course, I had to talk over the entire song and tell everyone in the room about how much better the Weird Al version is.
Because it is. It just is.
That was one of those things, not to derail too much, but that was one of those things where the original just wasn't a big enough hit to make an impact, you know? Like, if he was going to have an impact with a DeBarge parody, Rhythm of the Night would have been a much better thing, but I think Rhythm of the Night was already like at least a year or two old at that point, and they probably figured Here's Johnny was going to be a big hit. It was a follow-up to a big hit. It was attached to a movie, Weird Al's the Ed McMahon bit in the middle of that, I can't hear the original without doing that myself.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I love it. A Complicated Song is a parody of Complicated by Canadian pop princess Avril Lavigne.
The real one before they replaced her.
Yeah.
Right?
Who replaced Avril Lavigne?
No, we did a whole episode about urban legends, and there's an urban legend that people actually believe,
right.
that the real one passed away, and we all know the replacement, Avril Lavigne.
Oh, it's very similar to the Where's Paul?
Yeah,
Paul is dead.
Yep.
From the Beatles type thing.
This one, I like this. I'll tell you this. I'm not a huge fan of Avril Lavigne's song in the first place, like the original Complicated. But I will say I like that he did 3 separate jokes, one for each verse, instead of just being like, oh, look, this is going to lead to the same joke again.
Yeah. I'm constipated the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing, too, I don't think this is the best parody on the record, but I think this is another one that would have been a better choice for the first single.
Yeah, it would have been a rather complicated video to make, given that it's 3 separate vignettes.
It'd be the first Weird Al video that was censored for all the things that would have to be in it.
Oh God, the poop, the decapitation, the incest. It's just full of it. It's full of so many things.
That one kills me because if you were to say to me before you played this for me, Weird Al's going to do Complicated, he's going to make 3 different jokes, I would have been like, well, Decapitated will probably be one of them, and Constipated will definitely be one of them. I never, ever, ever expected the third verse where he says we were both related. It kills me.
I know, and especially how they get there, and then suddenly I spy tattooed on her thigh, her family crest. It's just like the one on me.
Yeah, and again, I talked about this being lacking in Couch Potato. In this one, again, the way it mimics her original rhyme scheme is perfect. The joke doesn't even have to be that funny because you can still marvel at the wordplay.
Yeah.
And if you were to say to someone, hey, Weird Al made a song about incest, how funny? They would be like, no, but it's his, again, like you said, right there on her thigh, and who would have guessed her family crest, like the way it goes, you're like, well, that's just brilliant. I have to laugh at that because it's brilliant. I don't even care that he's joking about incest.
I know. And like, how do you get to to propose to somebody without having seen their thigh?
Yeah.
I wonder, were you ever wearing shorts? Like, where do you live? Canada, I guess.
But yeah, I do. I think, again, not the best parody on the record, but I think I still think it's stronger than the lead single.
Yeah, you're right. So basically, a lot of what we're talking about here is boiling down to the fact that this album is so good, but it was just kind of derailed by the lead single not being what it should have been.
Oh, I totally. Weird Al's whole career for me comes down to, if that first single is big, you can talk to people and they will know other songs off of the record. They've at least listened to other things. And if that first single flops, like Couch Potato very much did, no one knows anything off the rest of the record. Like, if it's not strong enough for them to buy and at least hear the album once through in the car. And that's, I think me personally, I think this whole record was tanked by that lead single.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Like, when I saw Weird Al on the tour supporting this album, we didn't go because we loved this album. We went because it was Weird Al. And that's why the shirt that I have is not, from that tour, is not the cover of this album.
Right, yeah.
The shirt that I got was... the back of it says the Weird Al Experience. But yeah, Complicated song is followed up by Why Does This Always Happen to Me?
So is this the original you don't like all that much?
Oh no, it's not an original I don't like all that much.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna know now. No, I like this song. It's a Ben Folds style parody.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of those things where I could be reading way too much into this, but I feel like this is kind of like a commentary on society from Weird Al. Like, there are a lot of people who very much feel this way all the time. Like, no matter what, no matter what bad is going on out there, somehow it affects them worse than everybody. And it could be me internalizing too. At the time that this came out, and it's still to this day, I know at least one person that's this way still, that everything affects them worse than everything else. No matter what bad is going on in the world, this somehow has caused them a huge hardship. And I like, maybe Weird Al just sat down and wrote an innocent song, but I kind of feel like this is like a social commentary.
Nah, yeah, I think it is. I don't think Weird Al sits down to write innocent songs. I think Weird Al always has something in mind when he does something. Even if it's just, just about food, there's always another layer to it. And I think this song, it's exposing the worst in people. And I listened to it, in advance of our conversation. I did listen through this album quite a few times, and every time I came across this song, I recognized something in myself. At the beginning of this whole COVID quarantine business, my local news station would break in the morning with the local case numbers and things like that, and they'd always do it during The Price is Right, and I would always get very upset about that.
Dare they?
Like, how dare they? It's not like I was recording it or like it's anything special, but it's like, let's make a deal and The Price is Right. If I'm at home, that's my 2 hours in the morning that I enjoy having. So don't mess with it. And they messed with it every day. And it was always either, the mayor or the governor or, even a national press conference. And I'm just like, stop.
Yeah.
I just want to watch Drew Carey, please. Like, why is this happening to me?
I keep doing that. I still, as it gets, it's not way less, but as we get through this and it gets less and less, I still find myself being like, oh, woe is me. Why, live concerts. I should get to go to live concerts. And then I'll see an article shared on social media or something that's like, this many hundreds of thousands of people passed away in the world today. And I'm like, okay, that's probably more important than if I go to a concert or not. But specific to this song, though, I still in my real life know a person today who is this guy who, if we had a mutual friend pass away, I am positive at some point he would mention, oh, and he owed me $5.
No.
Which is like in this song, like, I know the guy this song is specifically about,
Yeah. Oh my God. That's funny, but it's not funny. There's something about this, I think, in everybody, but there's some people that have more of it than others.
Yeah, and also, like you said too, if you have the internal reflection to stop, and go, oh, I can't believe they're interrupting the prices, or, oh, wait a minute, this is more serious than that. What this song is about is the people who have no self-awareness for that,
Yeah, and I think we'd be remiss if we didn't get a little bit into the quote unquote source material of this song, because of course Weird Al, Ben Folds is actually the one that does the piano solo on the song, which is really cool. And it's a style parody of Ben Folds' music. And if you're into Ben Folds at all, which at the time, like, I totally was, that 2001 album Rockin' the Suburbs was like my jam when it came out. I had the Discman with the adapter that went in the cassette player of my car at the time, and that's what was like, that basically lived in it. And the songs on that, they're all like, rhapsodizing about relatively small things.
Yeah.
And I feel like Weird Al not only hit the nail on the head with the sound of the style parody, but he also kind of hit the nail on the head with, like, Ben Folds writes these big songs about very small things. Right. And there's these people feeling very big feelings about very small things that are happening to them while bigger things are happening somewhere else. And I just think that's that's kind of neat. Like, there's layers again.
Yeah, it's like there's so many things, like, and again, not to veer off this record too much, but like you take a style parody like Charles Nelson Riley. Like, I'm a huge Jack White and the White Stripes fan, and there are so many layers to that song that are outside of the Chuck Norris joke, and it sounds like a White Stripe song. And it's the same thing here, exactly what you're saying. Like, even for somebody like me, who I saw Ben Folds open for Beck back on the Odelay tour.
Oh, wow.
So
okay, cool.
that was like, I wasn't against Ben Folds, but I didn't know too much about him until I saw that show, and then I was like, holy shit, all right, this is good. And same thing, like, if you're like me and you could just kind of go around Ben Folds a little bit, you get a lot deeper appreciation for him through what Weird Al's doing. Even though this song is, ultimately silly, it still deepens your appreciation for the artist that he's doing the style parody of.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that, it's Ben Folds playing the piano. Weird Al could have done that piano solo. There's no question in my mind. But the fact that he had Ben Folds come in and do it is super cool.
Yeah, it's like Knopfler doing the guitar on Beverly Hillbillies. You're like, could Weird Al? I don't know Weird Al's guitar player's name. I feel dumb.
Oh my God, Steve J's the bassist.
Is it Bermuda?
No, Bermuda's the drummer. Okay. John Bermuda Schwartz is the drummer. It's Jim West.
Jim West. Okay, I have no doubt I can play the riff to Money for Nothing, so I'm sure Jim West could play the riff for it, but the fact that Mark Knopfler did it is just cool.
It's cool, and they did that for legal reasons, which is also why the song is called Money for Nothing / Beverly Hillbillies. Yeah. Weird Al wanted to call it The Ballad of Jed Clampett. But I digress. We're getting through it. Okay. We're on to the song, Ode to a Superhero.
So this is another one where, again, the title is what it is. Like, he couldn't just call it Spider-Man because nobody would look at that and go, oh, Piano Man. For me, too, this is, it's interesting that he dipped into classic rock for this because everything is usually so contemporary. Yeah. But I like it. Like, I'm not mad that he went back and did Piano Man out of nowhere. And also, to me, this reminds me so much of The Saga Begins because you pretty much don't have to see Spider-Man. You can listen to this song and know how the movie goes. Certainly with The Saga Begins as well. So, yeah, there's not a lot to... I guess the only thing I could say about this is... it's not my favorite, and it's not the worst. It's just there for me.
It's just there for you. This is the song I skip.
Yeah.
For a couple of reasons. One, you danced around it here. I feel like, okay, this is the album after The Saga Begins, and once again, he's summarizing a movie with a classic song. Whoopee. Number 2, I love Billy Joel. I absolutely love Billy Joel. I love everything, but I skip Piano Man because I like, give me Vienna, give me I Love These Days, like, give me anything else, but I skip Piano Man because Piano Man's just like that, like, I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
So I skip this for basically those reasons.
I spent too much time in karaoke bars when I was younger to hear Piano Man again ever in my life. Yeah. Yep.
It's Piano Man, Paradise by the Dashboard Light.
We don't listen to that one.
Love Shack, every Dixie Chick song. Yes. Yep. Go
Total
on.
Eclipse of the Heart. Have you ever had somebody at a karaoke bar try to do Turn the Page by Bob Seger?
I would like to take this opportunity to remind you that I'm sitting in Detroit right now. So, yes.
No, okay. Oh, that's right.
I mean, right now we're all locked down in COVID, and someone is still singing "Turn the Page" at a karaoke bar right now. Someone is sitting in the parking lot outside a karaoke bar singing "Turn the Page" right now.
Yeah. That's just such it's not a bad song. It's just a bad karaoke song.
Yep. All I can do is agree. I used to work at a Best Buy back in the late 90s, and the guy that ran the media section at the time, every time Turn the Page would come on the overhead, he would go, you could hear him across the store go, "Shut up, Bob." That's how sick of that song everyone in Detroit is.
Yeah, but anyway, we're not talking about Bob Seger. We're talking about Weird Al Yankovic. And Ode to a Superhero, it's
It's just there. It's just there.
It's there.
Yeah. And I didn't even think about what you mentioned too about it being so similar. Like I picked out how similar it was to The Saga Begins, and that he had just done classic rock before, but I didn't even think about exactly what you just said, where like this is like right after The Saga Begins. It's like, all right, well, let's go to that well again.
Yeah, yeah. It's the same well. It's like, okay, another story song, another story about a movie. All right, let's go. But then we get into Bob.
Perfect. I have in all caps, perfect. That's the first word that I typed in my notes. Perfect.
Yeah, because it is.
It is perfect.
Good.
This is the song that if I said to someone, hey, you know Weird Al does more than just parodies, right? And they go, what? Does he have his originals? I go, yeah, he has his originals. But he also has style parodies. If they said, what the hell is a style parody? This is the song I would play for them.
Yep. I would play, yes, 100%. I would play this one and Mission Statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the two, because this song, it's perfect. I can't even say anything other than that. Every single line in this song is a palindrome. I find myself saying these things all the time.
I can't tell you how many times in my life I've said lonely Tylenol. Like, yep. One thing I want to note, what I used to use for my style parody example before this, like before Bob existed, if someone said, what the hell is a style parody? I would play Twister from Even Worse. Yeah, and just go, you ever heard the Beastie Boys? Yeah, okay. Like, this is what a style parody is.
Yes, Milton Bradley's got a deaf one. It's a Twister.
Yeah, and the way, like, the way that it's the yellovers. Anybody in their life who's heard, anybody who's heard License to Ill in their life, any portion of that record will know what a style parody is when they hear Twister. But Bob came out and took over. Twister's been retired now. Now I go to Bob.
Yeah, Bob it's perfect, and this is actually the one that they ended up making the video for this album. They shot it really quickly, and it was a video parody of Bob Dylan's Subterranean Homesick Blues video.
Or if you're my younger friend, is he doing the End of the NXS video? And I was like, no. I was like, no. NXS was doing the Bob Dylan. Name of the song is Bob. Never mind. You know?
Not NXS.
Yeah. But and it's that was the stuff dreams are made of when that video came out. I was like, this is exactly what I need for this.
And if you didn't realize when you heard it that every line was a palindrome, he spoon-fed it to you with that video.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. I have to mention two other lines that I will just say in public randomly, and people will... I've actually had people in public be like, oh, I know that song, like just because of things I'm saying. One is, oh, no, Don Ho. That, and then the other is, a Toyota's a Toyota.
That's like, that's the classic palindrome.
Yep. But the one, the Lonely Tylenol, like just getting a leave, not even Tylenol, getting a leave from the cabinet. I'd be like, oh, Lonely Tylenol. My wife's like, oh, yep, that Weird Al thing again.
Oh my God. It's because of this song is the reason why I don't say egg. I say egg.
Or if we're
under a dog.
Yeah, or if we are in public, now I see bees, I run. You know, yeah.
We panic in a pew. It's so good. It's so good.
It's just it's brilliant.
It's so good.
I literally like the I'm not kidding you. I wish I could show you my second monitor. The very first thing on my note is perfect in all caps.
It was great. Yeah. So we touched on that. And then the next song on this album is also one that we've already hit on an episode of this show, is eBay. And I have a feeling this is the one you think should have been the single.
Absolutely should have been the first single. The original was monster. I mean, hindsight's 2020, but it's not to say Eminem is not relevant anymore or people don't still love a lot of things Eminem puts out, but the longevity of I Want It That Way against Lose Yourself is night and day. Like people still very much sing that song. They love that song. I think this is far better than Couch Potato all the way across the board. It shows off one thing that I think is criminally underrated about Weird Al is his vocal ability.
Yeah.
And he really gets to show off in this song. I just think that I don't even know if hindsight can apply here, because I think in the moment, how would you not know that I Want It That Way was just much bigger than what Eminem had going on?
Yeah. There was no way to really know. I truly don't know what he was thinking. I think the reason he didn't want to make the video for it, and in doing some digging before we talked, was that at the time, eBay itself was actually putting out commercials, and the commercials had parodies in them. Yeah. And so he didn't want to get all caught up in that. But yeah. Weird Al was kind of, again, hindsight, sort of quoted as saying, it might not have been such a bad idea to get caught up in that, because it would have been better.
For me, this is one of those things whenever I force people, and I say that lovingly, force people to listen to all of Poodle Hat, every single time that song comes on, people are like, why have I never heard this before?
Yeah. Yeah, it's criminally underheard.
It's one of the first times in a long time that I love the outro of a Weird Al song as much or more than the body of it. The one that I always think of is when he's doing the fat jokes at the end of Fat, when Michael Jackson has that brilliant cross melody going, and Weird Al does the when I sit around the house, I really sit around the house. And in this one,
I'm huge.
Yeah. And in this one, with the junk keeps arriving in the mail, it's those parts are even more brilliant than the first part of the song.
Yeah, and it's talking about the outro of eBay. One thing I noticed criminally recently is the very, very end of the song. Because it's, I want it that way. Oh, I didn't realize how long that went on.
Oh, yeah, where Weird Al holds it for an uncomfortably long time.
Funny. Yep. It's so funny. Oh.
Yeah, I think he does certain things for his diehard fans, and I think that's one of those where he knew that all of us would giggle every time he did one more at the very end of the song.
Yeah.
That is a perfect segue into things that Weird Al does for his diehard fans, which is always the last track of the album.
Oh, Lord almighty. This might be my favorite closer. I mean, that's a tight race. Albuquerque and Minnesota closes out UHF, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. And this is in the discussion, though, for my favorite album closers.
Yeah. It's definitely up there, because he started his career doing wild album closers, because his first album closed with Mr. Frump and the Iron Lung, and then he did Nature Trail to Hell, and it just goes on. You have Biggest Ball of Twine in Minnesota, The Night Santa Went Crazy, Albuquerque, and then you land on Genius in France.
The song is brilliant.
Absolutely. I will go on record, and because my brother will call me out on it if I don't say it, is I am not the first one to jump up and say, yeah, Genius in France, definitely listen to that one, because it's one of those songs that I have to be in the mood for, but when I'm in the mood for it, damn, is it good. I need to make sure I say that Dweezil Zappa actually does the guitar intro for this song, because of course it's a Frank Zappa style parody, which calls on so much Weird Al history, right? Because Frank Zappa was a staple on the Dr. Demento show, which is where Weird Al got his start. So this is everything sort of coming to a head.
And this is one of those ones where when I think I told you this before we went on air, but I am always looking for a reason to bust out Weird Al on Fridays when we have people over. And I have one friend who's a staunch Frank Zappa fan, and years ago I played Genius in France for him, and he just, this is the greatest thing ever. Every time it switched styles, he was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard. This is so perfect. This is dead on. So on the remote chance that someone new comes and somehow Frank Zappa comes up, my other buddy will always be like, oh boy, Poodle Hat's coming out. Because I'm always like, oh, you like Frank Zappa? Do you? Well, do you have a minute to talk about Weird Al? But I'll say this too, though. Every Zappa fan I've ever played this for adores it. They love it.
Yeah, because they have there's a commonality in kind of background and sensibility and appreciation and talent. Frank Zappa was just as talented as Weird Al is, just in Frank Zappa's way versus Weird Al's way, and they kind of the Venn diagram of Weird Al fans and Frank Zappa fans is there's a very deep overlap there.
Oh yeah, totally. Yep.
So, it's not like you're having to pull teeth to get one to listen to the other. But yeah, this is wild, and there's so many bits in this that I feel like are perfect in so many ways. The part that always gets stuck in my head that I feel like could be a whole, like, I feel like it would be like a late 60s, early 70s just rock song is the "A little more to the left, boys, a little more to the left." Like, I could hear somebody, I can't even think of a band that would make sense doing it, but I feel like, yeah, that would make sense coming from somebody at some point, somewhere, like around that time period. Like, yeah, maybe the Animals or something, like where you got that deep voice. I could just hear that being a whole song on its own. And there's all the parts of it could be a song on their own, much like, everything Frank Zappa did had all those little parts. And that's part of the genius of it, I guess.
Yeah, and you know what? This is another one too, though, where even though it's obviously a mega style parody, I think anybody could enjoy this. Like, I don't think you have to come to it appreciating Zappa. I don't think you would even be turned off if you're like, oh, I don't like Zappa at all. Like, I think everybody can appreciate this track, no matter what. Yeah, but it's, and again, and I put this in my notes, it's a perfect way to end the record too, because this record, love it or hate it, or you're indifferent to it, it is quite a bit different than the average Weird Al album. And what a way to end it with such an uncommon thing.
Yeah.
I could easily listen to this song without even putting any thought into the comedy aspect of it. Like, it's that good of a song.
Yeah. Great googly moogly. It's that good of a song.
It's just wonderful. My personal favorite part in the song, I do like the little more to the left, but the whole not just the wee wee part, but the that's right, that's it. It's just like
yeah.
Just wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, it's just it's good. It's very good. It's very good. Well, we've run through Poodle Hat, man.
We have, and I'm like, if even one person listening to this goes, I guess I'll give the album another shot, then I'll be happy. Like, I think this is such an underrated work from him all the way across the board, and we can sit here and guess all day long about why the single was the single and whatever, but at least it's out there for people to go back and take a listen to. I know I talk about it entirely too much, so I'm doing what I can to help.
Yeah, I love having people on to talk about like what their favorite Weird Al album is, or as we call them on the show, our weird albums. What your favorite weird album is, and I'm so glad I found a Poodle Hat guy. Like, seriously.
I'm going to get a t-shirt made that says I'm a Poodle Hat guy. And then, I'll go around in public and judge people on it. If people are like, if someone knows what it is, then we can have a conversation. And B, if they're like, oh, I don't like that album that much, I'll be like, well, it was nice knowing you.
Yeah. I always joke that my Weird Al shirts are like a litmus test. Now that I've been wearing them for all of this year so far, it's been very interesting, going out in public, like to the store or whatever, and the reactions that I get from people. I kind of know who's okay to talk to and who's not, especially with the particular shirt. I was wearing my Spatula City shirt last week.
Now, Spatula City. What was their Christmas special? They had a holiday special, didn't they? Buy 9 spatulas, get the 10th one for just 1 penny.
That's correct.
Okay.
For just 1 penny. Yeah.
Okay.
What better way to say I love you?
Is that
is
that deal still running? Can I still get that from Spatula City?
No, unfortunately, I don't believe you can still get that from Spatula City. But you'd have to ask Cy Greenbaum because he loved the spatulas so much he bought the company.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
It's fine. It's great.
But you said you had bought you were wearing your Spatula City shirt, and was this a good story or a bad story?
No, the checkout. The kid at the checkout at the grocery store asked me, "Is that a real place?"
I'm like, no, child, no.
You're like, have you not seen the commercials? The commercials are on all the time.
All the time on U62.
Yeah. Oh, do you not watch?
U62?
Yeah. Do you not get U62 where you're from? Because that commercial runs constantly.
Oh my god.
And now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go home and watch Gandhi 2.
Yeah. I'll have a steak. Medium rare.
Oh, man. Again, not to derail too much, but UHF, very unfortunately for my family, came out right before we took a family trip to West Virginia, driving to and from Detroit. And as a family, 5 people in this van. And my family got to hear Gandhi 2 and Spatula City and all those songs way more times in their life than they ever planned on.
Oh my god, that album is not. It's like the UHF soundtrack and other stuff. That has She Drives Like Crazy. Oh boy.
That's another gateway one. If we ever get to talking about the 80s and somebody's like, oh, Fine Young Cannibals, my other buddy will be like, oh boy, he's going to lead this to Weird Al.
I think we're going to wrap up our talk about Poodle Hat. Do you want to bookend again saying like anything else?
Yeah, just
what you got coming up?
If anybody would like to hear me talk about things that are not Weird Al, even though we do work him in every so often on the show, when it's close to appropriate, I will work him in. If you go to infectiousgroovepodcast.com, you can find everywhere to subscribe to our show there, or you can go to youtube.com/infectiousgroovepodcast. And we have a new vinyl video that goes up every week. So it's not just like, hey, this is this on vinyl. Like I talk about the record and whatnot. And when I do the Weird Al one, I'll kind of go into a little bit about each album and that type of stuff too. So those 2 places are where people can find us if they want to take a listen.
Russ from the Infectious Groove Podcast, thank you so much for being here to talk Poodle Hat with me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so once again, this has been a very special episode of the Beard All Podcast. I'm Lauren, and Russ has been awesome to be here. And check us out next time, because we're going to be talking about boogers. Ha-ha! All right, bye.